In the building. You might as well put your hands together. Oh, the word elite is a word that a lot of people use sometimes. Elite, you understand? It means the cream of the crop. It means the best. I'm not tooting my own horn, but toot. I'm speaking on behalf of my brothers, of course, because when you see these three on here, you know what time it is. Do I even have to tell you who we are? It is the one and only. This is the Cowboys OG podcast that is highlighted and featured by the one and only Cowboy Joe. Put your hands together. You might as well do it. He deserves it. I mean, he deserves it, but you know, you might as well just don't put your drink in your hand. Keep your hands ready and clap position. Cause right there in the middle there, oh my, the glue. That's him, the one and only B-Bird, Cowboys in the building. Clap. Yeah. These are my guys, man. And then y'all know me big time. It is what it is. So there it is. We together. It's like the Avengers coming together. It is. When Captain America was all alone, y'all remember that. When he called on the crew, it was over with. So the crew is together. We're here for truth. We're here to say hello. We're here to bust some of y'all bubbles. Some of y'all that are too high, our job is to bring you back down. I'm saying, some of y'all too high already. I've been reading some of your comments and all that. Y'all already Super Bowl and all. I mean, got some of y'all too high already. So we ain't even kicked the ball off yet. But I understand, all right? And then some of you are too low. And our job is to pump you up because there's really not a reason to be low. Not all the way low. Let me put it like that. And so that's what our job is, and that's why we're here. A lot of stuff has happened. This week, Cowboy Land camp is rookie camp, at least is underway, as most of you know. We got to talk. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We all know about, of course, George Pickens signing the tag. Of course, we're going to talk about that. And I guarantee you, all of y'all going to want to talk about that. So, and ain't no telling what else we're going to talk about. But those are what things we know y'all want to talk about. We're going to crank all that up. I'm going to get out the way. Cowboy Joe, as always, we call him the leadoff man. Ain't no telling what he going to say, how he going to say it. And we may not agree on it, but hey, you on the dance floor, Cowboy Joe. Let's roll.
Man, it's glad to be on Saturday Night Live. Yeah. We here live. You're looking live at the Cowboys OG podcast. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about this agent situation. The way this college football is going, they're going to end up with super conferences. It's probably going to be like 4 overall, and it'll just be, huge shakeup in college football when they do that. That's the way it's heading. I think we see the same thing happening in pro football with the agents. And I think David Mulugheta and Todd France, they're with Athletes First. They're putting together an agency that's going to rival Rich Paul in the NBA. And I think all these teams in the NFL are going to be fine with that except for one. And when this agent, when he starts getting all these players signed, I'm not really sure what the guy from Arkansas is going to do. So we can get into that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the big news this week, we did have a rookie mini camp, and we had some good stuff that came out of that. But the big news was Pickens signing the franchise tag. Man, I could go a whole bunch of different directions with that. With what you said, Cowboy Joe, it doesn't matter how many, like you said, it could be a super agency or whatever. As a GM, I just got to get these players signed. I can't worry about winning culture wars against agents and trying to make a stand, and I can't worry about that. As a GM, I have to worry about getting players because my owner may fire me if I don't. So I have to get things done on that side. So you're absolutely right. We may be the only team that's structured to be able to go against those kind of guys, which going against them don't make us win anything.
Those gonna be 2 heavy things to talk about.
Yeah.
And let me say this before I say what I'm gonna say, because mine is easy. Are y'all guys sharing? I need y'all to hit that like button. I need you to share. I need all y'all to do all that. Hit that like, smash it a few times. I need all of that. Do all that for us. Do that for my brothers. And we will be sharing our channel for those that have not subscribed to any of our channels. We'll be putting the links in, and so you guys can click on and do that for us. I want to talk about, The camera got into the face of Christian Parker again, and for a guy that has not been in his position, nor has he been kind of in the forefront. Man, he sure talk like a seasoned veteran, man. I mean, that's what I mean. The poise, the football. When people ask him football questions, I mean, you fall right into his wheelhouse. I just want to talk about how impressed I am with him. I'm always impressed with Schottenheimer and his talking ability. But I'm really impressed so far by Park, and that's what I want to talk about a little bit later. But Cowboy Joe, we swing back to you. Let's roll. What you want to talk about?
So I got my TV on the Cowboys YouTube channel. I just watched Christian Parker get off a Learjet, and he looks the part.
Yeah,
he looks the part. He talks the part, and so some of the content creators I was watching this week, they were talking about how we are at this point. We're doing what we should have done years ago. This was actually Vaj. Shout out to Vaj. He was talking about this. So he was talking about the situation with Rob Marinelli, what happened there when they decided to go to the Tampa 2, the Money Kiffin, Rob Marinelli defense, the kind of coaches that we had, the kind of players that we wanted. And then when we went to Dan Quinn, Dan Quinn was an innovator. He just kind of talked the part. He had fresh ideas, fresh schemes. Our defense, they were just flying around the ball, hitting people. We were getting turnovers. We started drafting a little bit better. But I think with Christian Parker, we got the opportunity here to do what a lot of teams around us are doing. They're just getting younger guys. They're getting coaches with swag. The players, I've been watching these player interviews all week. The players have a certain level of swag.
Yeah.
That's what we've been missing, guys, for 30 years. This right kind of guy, choir boy stuff, it just didn't work. The Rob Marinelli, that whole thing, shout out to him. Big respect for his military service and all of that. But that was not a good situation for us.
Yeah.
The scheme, the type of he really, B Bird, he had no interest in a big time safety, none whatsoever. This
Cowboys
team
haven't had in forever, man. To be honest,
and that was because of that influence. And so what we're seeing now, Christian Parker, it appears he's going to have a heavy influence on the safety spot. Our safety room is loaded. I still think we got some work to do at linebacker. I liked Barham's interviews big time.
Yeah.
You're a Michigan guy. I've been watching a lot of his film.
Love him.
So, but yeah, this innovation and Christian Parker, just the way he looks, during the draft, they had him, at first he was kind of offside, but as the night went on, you could just see him coming into the war room, coming in and out. And man, it's just it's a good time to be a Cowboys fan with what we're doing with these coaches and with these new players that we have now. It's underwear Olympics. We just got to go out there and put all this innovation on the field and see how they handle it.
Yeah.
So we there's a salary cap in the NFL where you cannot go get just any player you want to because you have money, right? You have to fit them in under the cap. Now you can manipulate that cap to get some things in. Even if you're the Dallas Cowboys and you are the most valuable franchise on planet Earth, you still cannot just go get players.
No.
But know what you can go get? Coaches.
Mm-hmm.
We've never had a coaching advantage on the sideline that I can remember, with the exception of Bill Parcells, where I felt real good about, hey, our guy's better than your guy. Even if we're not as good of a team, our guy is going to come up with something to beat your guy. And so this is the first time I think we're going into that. I would call it a technological advantage. And when I say technological, look, we got Clayton Adams last year, right? A guy that was really smart. instead of going to an old has-been type coach. And now we got CP this year. So I think for a long time, I've been saying this for years, and just even before I even became a content creator, we always kind of behind the curve on things, and it's always better if you lead the curve, if you know what I mean, right? So do y'all remember? Yeah, I'm glad we're on the OG podcast. So you remember when Michael Irvin's heyday in college at Miami? So it was three teams that threw the ball a lot: Florida State and Miami, and then Florida. Well, everybody else was still Nebraska, Oklahoma. It's still 3 yards in a cloud of dust. So they play real well because everybody else in the nation was like that too. Run on first, run on second, throw on third. Well, when they ran against a Miami that had a pro style offense, they didn't know what to do with it. They were ahead of the curve. Miami and Florida State they won a lot of national championships. They also had good players too.
Yeah.
But now everybody else throws. When everybody else caught on to it and said, hey, we're going to throw the ball like them. For a long time, Miami and Florida State was just like everybody else. Why? Because they didn't have a technological advantage anymore. So you got to get in front of the curve and win at that point in time, ahead of the time, because everybody's going to catch up with you. What I think the Cowboys have done is saw something like, I remember when the Greatest Show on Turf came out, but then Jerry's coming up. I want to get a coordinator. Yeah, but by the time you got it, then everybody figured it out. Now they're going in a different direction. So it's about getting ahead of the curve and having good, smart, young, innovative coaches is how you get ahead of the curve, not with old has-beens. So I think that they've done a good job of finally going to get coaches that's going to put them in being innovators, man.
And I'll just stay with that flow from what you guys are talking about. It's really simple, man. Look, we always talk about, and I'm at fault at this. Well, I said it a different way. I used to always say, and I still say, that you got to have some dogs on the field. These Boy Scout, goody two shoes,
right kind of guys,
right? Yeah, quote unquote, right type of guys. That's not gonna get you too far now, because the teams that win the Super Bowl got some goons on their team. But what I realize is that when you look at who our coaches have been, they've been Boy Scout material.
Yeah.
Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore. I ain't got to say nothing about him. He look like he in the Cub Scouts. You know what I'm saying?
Like he's still in it.
Yeah. You know, not a brand of football that is, conducive for playoff football. And so when we played these bully-like teams, we got punked out. We'd be down 35-0 in the first half and all that type of stuff. All of it. But for this year here, I'm Park is a dog. He come from dogs. I mean, Vic Fangio is a dog type coach. Vance Joseph, dog, type coach. He has no choice but to be that way. Schottenheimer, as good as he talked, Schottenheimer's a dog, man. Steve Spurrier, that's where he learned a lot of his stuff from. His father, of course. Then been with Rex Ryan. I mean, I'm saying names that you don't think finesse.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying type dog. So when they come to the players, you got a lot of dog type coaches, and they look for dogs. And so that leads now into the draft again. When I see, the people that we drafted, a lot of people don't know him. I mean, Downs is a dog. I mean, no doubt. Barham is a dog. You go get a Rashad Gary. He's a dog. You see what I'm saying? Devin Moore, the cornerback. He's a dog. If y'all done seen the film on it, I'm saying these guys is going to bring a mentality in. And you're already seeing signs of it from Barham already. If y'all been listening, Barham he look like he ready to fight everybody all right off the top. So, I mean, but this is what has been missing. Part of it. And I think both of you guys hit the nail on the head about I guess we could title that, if you want to, the mentality of the coaches. And the word soft. Thank you, common sense. I see it. Thank you. Like he just said, I'll go ahead and highlight his because I was just about to say it, but he got me there. Let me get this part out the way. Why I can't get it, I don't know. Not let me do it. But anyway, y'all see it. Common sense said this defense shouldn't be as soft as it was in the past. Right there. I mean, come on now. I don't see it happening. We got too many dogs that's on this team. I ain't talking about the guys that's still there. Quentin Williams, Kenny Clark. Dogs. You know what I'm saying? So these guys. I mean, we got a bunch of dogs. You get dogs on your team, it's gonna be a dog mentality. And so I'm excited about what I'm seeing. As you guys just said, I want to say this since we're on that note. Now, just flip it around real quick. Christian Parker, man. Highly impressive. Highly. Every time I was so glad to see him get in front of the microphone and just listen to him talk ball and shut off questions. He's a seasoned veteran, it seemed like already media savvy, all this type of stuff. He knows what he wants. He knows what he's doing. If you saw some of the pictures, you saw him running with Caleb Downs. Teach him as he runs, whatever the case may be. So I mean, but he's a secondary guy. So this is no surprise. When you start talking about, I think B-Bird brought up the safety part. But this is one of the prime positions. That's why DeJean and Mitchell and all those guys were so good. I mean, he just left two guys that were first team all pros. I mean, Mitchell and DeJean were first team all pros, if I'm not mistaken. Both of them. So let's not act like this dude don't know what he's doing. And he values the safety position. Right now, as we speak, B-Bird, I think, Joe, I don't know, Joe, if you listen to him, but right now, I can hear the words of Coach Marv in my ear so bad. Coach Marv has said for years that until the Cowboys straighten up the safety position, the defense will never be good.
Yeah.
He said that for the last 2 to 3 years. Shout out to Coach Marv.
Yeah.
He is the one that has said that all the time. And I think that the Cowboys, for the first time, I don't, for the first time, really address the situation. So, in a real way. And I think that this is going to be the difference. We ain't never talk about no 3 safeties in the lineup at the same time. We ain't never heard that. We're going to see it this year, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the league is a passing league. When you look at some of the stuff that Shanahan is doing and Sean McVay with Puka Nacua, these teams are coming at you in waves.
Yeah.
And you got to have people downfield. So Caleb Downs, he was at Ohio State, and his defensive coordinator was the coach for the Patriots that had been there forever. What's his name? The heavyset guy. He was a coordinator for the Patriots when they won a couple.
Oh, that was
Matt Patricia.
Matt Patricia, yeah, thank you.
So Caleb Downs comes from a pro system with Matt Patricia. So big time. Your Michigan Wolverines. Barham learned the game under Wink Martindale, the pro coach. And Wink Martindale, when he puts a game plan together, for the most part, he's trying to knock the quarterback out of the game. That's what he's doing.
Well, not only that, when you say Wink Martindale, when you look at Michigan's, and I can speak to this easily because that's my team, watch them every week. Michigan was either one of the top, without for the last 4 years. The Wolverines were top 5 defense in the whole country. So you know how many teams that is. I mean, seriously. And we ain't talking about no poo-put conference. We're talking about the Big Ten conference where you really had to shut people down. And then most of all, it translated in the bowl game. I'm going back to Harbaugh. Shamar Moore did pretty good as well. When he took over, he didn't have a good year last year, obviously, without, and I ain't talking about the drama with his, his family and all that. I'm just talking about you lose talent, you're not the same. But the Wolverines defense have always been pretty stout. And it's a pro style type defense because that's what Martindale knows. So when you start talking, I know everybody had this hang up over Michigan guys and all that type of stuff.
I didn't. No.
I don't, and I go ahead and tell y'all, Barham is the truth. So I'm just telling y'all now, y'all gonna love him. That's all I'm gonna say on that part. But
and he looks the part.
Yeah,
he plays downhill. Now it's gonna be a learning curve for him to play, and I love the fact that they playing him at Mike to start. I think that's where he should play. We got a lot of guys playing edge from this draft, and guys that we brought over. Now I'm looking at this LT Overton from Alabama on my TV right now. He's a dog. And then quietly, the last one I'm gonna mention is Devin Moore. We got him in the 4th round, the corner. He was rated by some people in the 2nd and 3rd round, and the same with him. So, we got the right, this right version of right kind of guys. So now we just gotta put them on the field. And here's the thing that we gotta do, B-Bird. There's just no valid reason for you to just get these guys in the building and don't play them. There is no 2 or 3 year development. Put every one of these guys on the field and just let them learn the game, let them get experience, let them, just learn in real time. And that's the best thing. That's what we did in the 90s. We drafted all of these guys like, Darren Woodson and Kenny Gant and all of these guys, and they put them on the field. And the New England Patriots, the Seattle Seahawks, that's what they've done here recently. And we just need to do what these other teams are doing. And that's kind of where we need to go at this point.
Yeah.
Well, one thing back in the 90s, they all kind of grew together, though. They was all around the same age, and they kind of came to this point to a maturation where they was ready to win.
Yep.
With Dak Prescott being the age that he is now, we definitely need them to come on the field. Well, put it this way. Our defense is so bad that I don't see how they don't come on the field and play. I want to go back to what y'all said about dogs. The thing I think about a dog, and I'm sorry for backing up on this, but I had a point to make.
Oh, you go ahead.
The thing I think about dogs, y'all, it's the mentality, right? Like I've seen these guys. I've seen them in real life. I've seen athletes. 2 things that happen with dogs, man. There's no. I want everybody to hear this because it ain't about physicality. What this is about is there's no moment that's too big for them.
Yeah.
It's not a Super Bowl. Did I ever tell y'all? Oh shoot, I can't think of his name now. If I come back, wait, anyway. Kenny Smith was the point guard for Houston, I think, Rockets, and his backup was when they won the World Championship.
Vernon Maxwell, right?
No, that wasn't his backup. It was a little bald head dude. He's a coach now.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about. It'll come to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But anyway, they were sharing time, right? Like splitting times. Kenny Smith would start Sam Cassell. But if Sam Cassell was hot, they go with Sam. It was game 7, man, against New York Knicks. And what he told Kenny when he went out, he said, Kenny, if you go out there and you ain't playing well, they put me in, you're going to make me a star. What he's trying to say is, I'm ready for this moment. This moment ain't too big for me, man. I'm ready. This is like a dog is never like we had moments where I felt like against Green Bay when things start going bad. You need dogs in there that say, no, dog, throw me the ball. Can I tell you who don't care about a situation? Pickens don't really care about a situation. That ain't nothing too big for him. You know what he said about a big situation? It's a big stage so I can show out. You know what Michael Irvin and Dez Bryant said about a big situation? There's a big stage for me to show out. That's all it is. It's a big, Emmitt Smith. It's just a bigger platform to show out.
They embraced it.
Yeah. Man, I want this, man. I don't want to be other people like, I don't know. I don't know. If you don't know, let me in there. Because I know what I can do. And so that's what a dog is. But I want to tell you what is hard to have. It's hard having dogs on a team when you got a puppy for a coach. Your head coach got to be a dog. Well, hey, look, I know we go back, but hey, we OG podcast. Jimmy was a dog.
Yes, sir.
He was a dog of a coach, and everybody here knows that.
Big teeth.
Yeah, man, he was a bad boy, man. He ain't care about He ain't care about Jerry. That's why he ain't here. He ain't care about the play. He like, man, look here, dude, I would cut you. And what the reason why he was so effective because he was a psychology major. But what he understood, all these players. The thing I loved about him is that he got the talented players to play 90-something% of their ability. They weren't gonna play 80-something, 70-something. If you wasn't 90-something, 98% of your ability, you got to come out. I got somebody ready to go.
Yeah.
And so them dudes played with an edge like, dude, I ain't trying to lose my job. Why? Because that dude would sit me down. That's all it is to it, man. So you got to have a dog coach because, man, look, we all grown men with families. Man, leadership, man. How leadership goes is how the team go. You get a dog head coach, you're going to get some dogs. Now you can create some dogs on that team, too.
Yeah. And I like what your chat is doing. I see what y'all adding names to the dog list. And since you're doing that, I want to add one, and you might shock you here. Dak Prescott is a dog.
He's a dog.
Dak Prescott is a dog, and you know, he's got enough cachet now. You know that by without even shot it, he has the power to change plays at the line of scrimmage. That's dog, and he's put us in a lot of positions. But most of y'all have seen plenty of Cowboy games where you see Dak go to the sideline. He always take his helmet off, and he can't hide his expressions. And he cussing folks out. He ticked off. He's doing all that type of stuff. I haven't seen him go up to Shotty and in a derogatory way, but I'm quite sure there's been some type of stuff going on. But Dak Prescott is a dog. You need that as a quarterback. You need that in the quarterback position as well. But what we haven't had is that leader type dog on defense. I think we got it now. And that is in the form of Mr. Downs.
I want to say one thing, Big Time. Mm-hmm. I heard this before. Dogs are thermostats. They're not thermometers. And what it is they set the tone in the room, man. They set the tone in the stadium. They set the tone on the field. Mm-hmm. But some dudes just see what the tone is and they feel it and they go with it, right? Like, and I think our team has done that sometimes. You can see our team that's kind of against Green Bay in the playoffs. Yeah. And we ain't had no thermostats. We ain't had nobody to be like, nah, dog. Okay, chill. Y'all chill out. It's going to be okay. Everybody go out there and do their job. Set the tone. We had people that, because that pressure got on them, next thing you know, everybody playing pressurized because it wasn't going the way they was going. At that point in time, man, you need thermostats. And when we got way too many thermometers on this team. I don't like the way he looked when he got pushed by that cornerback.
Yeah, and see, I'm sorry, Joe.
No, you're good.
When I played, I was a verbal type guy. You know what I'm saying? I was the emotional charge for the team. So I'm always talking. I'm getting people hype. I'm Ray Lewis type, that type of guy. Y'all remember Ray before the game, all the dancing and all the hypeness, and when they get into, one of the team get into a circle and Ray just looking them in the eye and going, see that guy. But at the same time, there are some quiet leaders that lead by example. And we done had that a whole lot of times. And I ain't got no problem. Quentin Williams is a guy that lead by example. Kenny Clark is another guy that leads by example. So there's ways that you can do it. I ain't say you got to be all rah-rah like a Ray Lewis type at all, but it does help. The DeMar and Overshown type guys, those guys that, as long as Overshown, of course, on the field, but when he's in there, he plays like that, real emotional, verbal, slapping folks on their head, congratulating them. See, I'm the type, man, and I used to say this all the time. When you make a play, man, I want the excitement from my teammates. I mean,
That's right.
Congratulate you, guys. Don't go straight back to the huddle. You know what I'm talking about? I'm saying that pumps up the team. You know what I'm saying? That pumps up the players on the field. That all that stuff count, man. It's a football is more than physical. It's a mental game as well. And certain things like that happen. I think we got, when I look at Barham, because I know how he is, he's one of those rah-rah guys. Downs is kind of in the medium way. He's more of a tactician type dude. So you ain't looking for too much rah-rah, but he will do it at times. Overshown is a rah-rah guy. Is a rah-rah guy. Bland is a business type dude. Ravel is a show out type dude. He couldn't do nothing last year because he wasn't confident. But when you'll see him this year, he's doing all this right here, no zone and all that, no catch and all that. He's that type. That's get some swag about yourself. Pickens without a doubt is a dog. I mean, gonna let you know. Split two guys, smack them in the face, talk crazy, all that. CD is a rah guy. I'm saying these type of dudes. This is what you need. You need some goons on your team, man.
Yeah.
We need some. We ain't got the Charles Haley guy quite yet. The real goons, but you need some guy that's right on the edge, and that's what I'm looking for. I think we got it this year. We just gonna see what happens. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
So I think what happened, if you go back to the 2 years we played the 49ers in the playoffs, I think both times we were right there. What we were missing, B-Bird, was a Pickens. We had Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper was a dog too, but Kellen Moore shut him down. Kellen Moore didn't like Amari Cooper. And then you look at the year we played Green Bay, back in the day, 2016. Dez told a story about, how during the week he was trying to get guys fired up for that Green Bay game.
Yeah, I remember.
And Jason Garrett shut him down and told him, no, we don't want to do all of that out here. You're doing too much. So when they started the game, we got down like 21-3.
It was flat.
It was flat. We wasn't ready to play.
Came out flat.
And the same thing happened when we played the 49ers here. I call it the boombox game.
Yeah, it was a boombox game.
and McCarthy said he noticed the team seemed like they was kind of nervous or whatever, which was a reflection of the coaches. So we've had good enough teams. We were pretty close. And I wanted to go back to what you were saying about Dak. Dak is at his peak. He's at his best level of football. The time is now. These guys that we just brought in, if we can just catch a wave, I'm convinced that we can shock a lot of teams. Now, Christian Parker, it's going to be some games where it looks like things are disorganized, guys busting assignments, whatever the case may be, because we're going to be playing a lot of young guys. I hope we play them, and they're going to make mistakes.
We're going to have no choice.
But what I think is going to happen is, even when you see those mistakes, they're going to be playing with a certain level of tenacity. They're going to be excited about playing. And this Pickens thing, the Cowboys got an opportunity here. They can really set our team off to a good start. Last year, Jerry killed the start of the season. And then Eberflus, what we talking about, dogs? This whole segment was about dogs. He flat out did not want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Some guys was talking to him about what they were observing, what they needed to do. He was like, I don't do grits. So this coaching staff, when you look at, I think it's BT, is it BT Parker, the Russian edge coach?
BT Jordan.
BT Jordan. I've been watching some of his stuff. I really like the staff. It's a lot of young guys. Your guy, Newt from Indiana, is it Ryan Johnson? What's his name?
Ryan Smith.
So you could just really catch lightning in a bottle with these innovative coaches, B-Bird, young players. That's what really can turn your team around, like really overnight. And I don't think it's going to take 3 or 4 years. I just don't, because of where Dak is.
Yeah. One thing I wanted, and I guess we can close. We talked about dogs and so vocal leadership. I definitely love vocal leadership. Let me just say that in a positive manner. Hey, if you got to get in somebody's face on the other team, whatever it takes, man, because the choir boy. Okay, so I don't believe in leading by example on football field to a certain extent. I don't. I think it affects. I think it's if a guy goes by this business. Say you got a defensive tackle that goes by this business, do the workouts, weights, make himself better in the offseason, and come back and he's good with his own training, the pass rush training. He comes back better. That affects the team in a sense of of how good he is on the field, but how's he affecting the other one's mentality, right? Like he doesn't. And so I'll give you an example of what I heard that was really good. When Von Miller got traded in 2021 to the Rams, Aaron Donald was one of those quiet leaders. He does lead by example or whatever. And Von Miller went up to him and said, "Hey, no, these guys need to hear from you, man. They need. You are the best player in the league. I say you have an effect on them, and you have a cachet. You have all the things that when you talk, they gonna listen." He said, "The problem is you ain't talking, so they ain't got nothing to listen to." And so if you go back and look at the game, either it's the San Fran game they were down, or the Tampa Bay. I think it's a San Fran game and an NFC Championship game, and you can see him rallying those guys. And so they ended up coming back winning that game. And so he came and they won the Super Bowl. He came back and said, "Well, what did you?" He said, "I really give some praise to Von Miller because Von Miller told me I had to get outside myself." He said, "That's outside my personality. But for the betterment of the team, I had to get outside myself. It was comfortable for me to continue to do what I was doing, but I wasn't affecting the team." And they say, man, you can just see that when he was getting on those dudes saying, "Hey, we're going to do this," firing them up, man, about 13 to 14 guys that's around him that's looking at him. And that's the kind of effect that vocal leadership has, man. You got to be outward with your leadership. Like I think big time, you said that's the kind of way you were. Mm-hmm. I think the other one, I think we just give guys that's quiet, "Oh, he's a quiet leader." No, he just quiet.
Just quiet.
Just quiet. Yeah. You're giving him the leadership tab. No, he just quiet. He's kind of, I say worried about himself, but he doesn't know how to get outside himself to lead other people because he's just so, into himself. So I don't really believe in all that quiet leadership stuff, man. I mean, it does work at some point in time. If you got groups that you're going to work out with, that is leadership. Like, hey, I gathered all the guys together. We're going to work out. We're going to throw. That is leadership, right? But I'm saying, like, be vocal about your leadership and what you want with the team, especially if you got the cachet on your team. Man, what Aaron Donald was the best player in the NFL on defense for like 5-6 years in a row. You can tell these dudes anything, they can't say nothing to you, man. All they gotta do is listen.
Just listen. Bottom line. And speaking of that, let's go to one of those leaders that have been, whether he wanted or not, he's probably looked at as a leader. I know some of the teammates do now in the national press. He may not be considered a leader. Of course, we're talking about George Pickens. And I think that's a good way to transition. He signed the tag. No drama. The media made up the drama. He came right after. Actually, and I'll just say it like this and we'll swing it around again. Chat, y'all get involved in this too. I want to start it off this way. The Jones family has not lied to us. They said in their, when you talked about George Pickens, they said he's excited. They said he's when we told him that we were going to play him on the tag, he said he was ready to go. He said that he was ready to sign the tag. I don't know who came up with that thing saying he was going to sign it before the draft. I don't know who made that up, but obviously that didn't happen. But essentially, you could say right after the draft, he does come and sign it. A lot of y'all thought that he was not going to sign it. And whether you believe it or not, I guess that's a good play. You think he should have signed it? I need y'all in the chat to answer that. You think he should have signed it or not? But regardless, he did. And so on the surface, it appears to be no drama at all. Right now, we're in voluntary camp. He does not have to be there. A lot of teammates are not there. So we're not going to really act a fool about that. He does not have to be there. But he did come in and sign. The Cowboys, of course, can trade him. Makes no sense to do it now, from my opinion, because the value was there before the draft, and you were going to do that. Makes no sense to do it. I ain't going to say it makes no sense, but you could have really hit a home run with a trade for him before the draft, not now. You still can get something, but I don't think it'd be as much as what you would have got before. Even though they said they're not doing a long-term deal, they said the same thing about that with a lot of players that was on the tag. Zach Martin comes to mind when he skipped the line, and Jerry said he's already under contract. We're not doing that. And then about 3-4 days later, he the highest paid guard in the league. So, that's just negotiation and playing a little poker. So, if they're doing something, they have until July the 15th to get it done. If they're going to do long term, I'll say it like this, and I'll go to Cowboy Joe. When we first got Pickens, I said right then that if he have a big year, he's not going to get a long-term deal from Dallas because of how cheap Jones family is. I ain't forgot about them. They're not going to pay two receivers $30+ million. They're just not. That's just not what we do. That's something that maybe we ought to do. We ought to change, but they're not going to do that. That, according to the history of the Cowboys, whenever a player gets to this type of level here, we rarely have two guys. They did give money to Michael Gallup, but it wasn't nothing like this. You know what I'm saying? But Mari Cooper had problems getting paid. Dez Bryant had problems getting paid. He got rid of Terrell Owens after his All-Pro year. CD, even though he got paid, he had to go through a little character assassination with that before he finally got his. And here we are again with Pickens. I just don't think Jerry, is going to do this. I think we're getting a 2-year rental out of him. And after this season here, that's it. Because if he ain't got to have the year he had last year. If he just have, if he have 93 catches last year, if he have 75 catches and he over 1,000 yards, and CD don't get hurt, guess what? The price tag just went up again. Bottom line. So I don't think we'll have him. I think it's just another rental on that year, but maybe they are serious about not paying him. And if that is the case, that's $27 million. Yeah, he probably obviously deserved more, but that's the franchise tag. So I'm not going to blame. I don't know what's going on here. It could go either way. He could show out. He may not show up for training camp. He could do that. Then again, he could be the first one out the door on training camp day. And it is what it is. Go ahead, Joe. That's my spiel on Pickens. I got more.
Well, we talked about this before. So we got analytics. We got people that study your organization. I could go in there tomorrow or Monday morning, and I can get 5 kids from the high school right down the street, and I can show them what they've done for the last 30 years, and I can show them the results. So what they've done in a situation like this, they'll just say, we don't want to sign this receiver. We see what he did last year. We see how he played. We see his chemistry with Dak. We see his chemistry with CD. But we're going to be okay with Ryan Flanoy and Pickens or Pickens and, just name the receiver by committee. They've done that, and it hasn't worked. You have nothing to show for it. So what you should do at this point, just do something you've never done before, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take you stepping outside of the box. It's going to take you doing something different. And you don't have to do a lot of developing with Pickens. You don't have to do a whole lot of really anything, but other than just, pay him and just let him produce. So they're going to have to make a decision what they want to be, what they want to do. Do they want to do what they've done for the last 30 years? Do they want to go all in? Because it's all right there for them to they can just make a move and do it. I was confused myself on whether he signed the tag or not. So he did actually sign it.
Yeah, he signed
okay.
it 2 days ago.
And so that July deadline, it's put up a shut up for them. But I'm in the camp of they need to sign him long term. I don't think they need to tag him again. Again,
Ain't gonna tag.
You got an opportunity to do something that you haven't done. You got a 2 or 3 year window. So to me, I just think they need to make the investment and go ahead and get him signed versus just doing what they've normally done and just putting it on CD and a receiver by committee type thing. That hasn't worked. It's not going to work this time either if they do it that way.
So I got like I got a lot of different ways I can go on this thing. Let's just take this. What happened is the Cowboys did not expect him to play like a number one wide receiver, right? They expected him to be a complementary piece to CeeDee Lamb, a good number two, catch about maybe 60 balls for 800 yards for 4 or 5 touchdowns. But what he did, he showed up to be just as good as CD. And so they thought in their minds that, okay, if he plays well enough, he be a number two, $27, $28 million, per year going to be good. But if he played like a number one, now they put him in a situation, right? That's no different than T. Higgins, right? T. Higgins was put in a situation because he was playing like a number one. So I would ask anybody this. Let's give you a scenario. CD's not on the team. So we just got a mediocre wide receiver core. And we get Pickens on his team, and Pickens does what he does last year. We sign him, no problem. Think about that. Yeah. We signed him without a problem at all. But because two things, he played like a number one, and we already got number one, that puts him in a bind. That's why I think really, man, their plan is to franchise tag him this year and franchise tag him next year. And then the next year they got to see, because CD contract will be up. Now you probably have to pick between those two guys. Mike Florio said something that was interesting. And the reason why I take Mike Florio's word for this is because you ever see how he falls on negotiations? He kind of falls to the player's side. And I kind of noticed that when listening to him for over 15 years or so. But he said that the best thing for CeeDee Lamb to do is to go play under this contract. He said because there's a situation that he's in. He's kind of between a rock and a hard place. So the best thing for him to do is to sign the franchise tag, go and play up under the franchise tag, because it's not like you got a lot of money saved up because you hadn't made a whole bunch of money in your rookie deal. This is $27.3 million, man, straight cash. And so if they're paying you that, so you got to go and play. And I'm taking his word for it. I'm talking about Florio's word because he's a lawyer / agent. I mean, he knows that field, and he also leans to the side of the player. If he's an ownership leaning side, I wouldn't even say that. So I think what the most important thing about this is it blows everything out, right? Like all of our takes, either you with the Joneses or you with Pickens. If Pickens goes in this thing like, hey man, look, tell his agent, hey, I know it's a tough situation. I know you would want me to hold out to get the most, right? But dude, $27.3 million is way more than I've made. And I don't want to lose 10 games of that, right?
Lose a dollar.
It is just, I don't want to lose that amount of money. Look, what can we do? And the agent say, man, you can play through it. Well, here's the deal. Only thing I'm worried about is Pickett's mindset, right? Yeah. If he's coming into the season like these some guns did me bad and he can't focus and concentrate, then it's not going to be good. If he comes into the year like, man, I'm making $27.3 million. You know what I'm saying? I'm making $1.5 million a game. I made $1.5 million in a whole year. So, hey, look, if I got to go play through this and show him again, I'll show him again. I'm showing the NFL too. I'm going to go out there and ball out. Hey, this is still life-changing money. So if he goes in with that mindset, because that's the only thing I'm worried about, like the mindset. I'll go into one more thing. I know I'm going on a rant here.
No, go.
So the thing is when I see people take the Joneses side, I was on Twitter going back and forth, and guys say, it's business. This is how corporations do. I'm gonna put that down right quick. You're not dealing with corporations that's selling, computer chips or something like that, right?
Yeah.
What you're dealing with is people, man. Like when you make a deal, I would say this. Let me give y'all an example. I thought about this the other day. So say your car, your brakes was kind of going out on your car, and it had some dings in it. It It had a little shake on the road a little bit. You're like, I don't know what that shake is, man. And you had the car about 5 years.
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, you tell your wife, hey, look here, I think we ought to go trade this car in. Say, well, they got the brakes and they got the shake on the road, and it ain't right. Something wrong with this car. And you go to the dealership and the dealer take it out and come back and say, man, ain't nothing wrong with this car, man. It's a pretty good car. We're going, and he give you top dollar for it. You say, whew, let me get on out of here. I got top dollar for this car. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna give you that same scenario. Got a little shake on the road. Brakes ain't right. Let me ask you a question, big time. Would you sell that to your brother?
No way.
You see what I'm saying? Can I tell you why? Because that's a human being. You got to see that guy. I got to see my brother at Christmas. I got to see my brother at Thanksgiving. That's my brother, man. I can't sell him this car without disclosing that to him. Why? Because there's a personal part of that. So when people talk about it, they talk about like the first time, like just getting the deal is the only thing that counts. Just getting the deal ain't the only thing that counts. Keeping the relationship counts too. And that's what when people are, they're just great. They're just making a tough deal. They got him for this. They got him for that. They got control over him. How is that player going to perform? Because that's a human being with feelings.
Yeah.
And that's what people forget. And I just wanted to get that out, man, because you can negotiate hard, but to what extent? That when you do damage to the relationship of the franchise and the players. Now they're just out there playing for money. Like, no, I'm just getting my check. Yeah. Well, we lost, I got my check. But again, I'm going back to the Will Anderson signing. It was just dumb, so amicable that everybody was up there smiling. Will got the most money, shaking hands, kissing babies, and all that kind of stuff. That's how you want your player and your franchise to be after negotiations. It don't have to be that way, man. And I went on a rant there because I'm passionate about this. I think too many Cowboy fans think just win the deal. No, you got what you gonna do after that deal. How that person gonna feel after that deal?
Yeah. Go on. I mean, you got some more on there. I feel you ain't through. Go ahead and get you a little bit more.
No, I'm done, man. I think people don't understand that a general manager cannot afford to be on the outs with his star players. They can't take the route of I'm going to go hard at Dak Prescott. Think about this, y'all. And I always forget the Chargers quarterback. What's his name?
Herbert.
Herbert, thank you. Herbert, they just walked up to Herbert and said, hey, man, we want to make you the franchise quarterback. We want to make you, we gave him $50-something million. Dude, I never heard about it in the press. Never heard about it. Franchise quarterbacks rarely get drugged through the press. They just don't get drugged through the press. Why not? Because the GM is tied to this guy. If this franchise quarterback don't come through, they're gonna get rid of me too. So me and him got to have a good relationship. I can't. But when our GM has the owner's power, which he has, he takes liberties, and that's how he go after Dak. That's how he let the 105.3 have the accusing lawyer on about Dak Prescott. That's how he go get Trey Lance and all these kind of things. Because why? It's you versus them. Yeah. And then after the contract gets done, they're there shaking hands. They're gonna take the money, but they feel some kind of way about it. Again, you can't unring a bell. All that stuff you're saying about that player in the public, you can't. They hear that, and their family heard that, and everybody else heard it, and they feel a certain way about you.
Yeah. I guess I can sum it up really, and just not sum it up for you guys because there's plenty more we can talk about this, but I just kind of tag off for B-Bird and a little bit of what Cowboy Joe said also. You know, it goes back, but it needs to be repeated that, you know, Jerry and Steven have been dedicated to doing it their way. And I'm talking about in terms of general managership now. I ain't talking about owner and all that. Just in terms of being a general manager. They're determined to do it their way. They draft these certain type of guys. They do not mess with free agents, you know, the real free agents. They won't even really open up the door for that. We got a history of that, but they did a little bit this year. But They really don't do that. They have their own playbook, and by doing their playbook or the way they do it, they've kind of fallen behind on how the rest of the general managers are doing it. And we getting lapped. You know what I'm saying? We were at a track. The ones that was the lead done caught up to us and lapped us again. You know what I'm saying? If you was on the track. And we're playing catch up. And we really are at the position, I've been saying this for years, that they do draft pretty decently though. I will give the Cowboys that. They, you know, it's hard to argue when you say, okay, we drafted these guys, all the Pro Bowls and a few all pros that's mixed in. It's kind of hard to argue with that. Talent level, we've done it. But to win the Super Bowl, there's a blueprint that teams have used, even with, let's just go with last year. No, it's not a lot. If you want to say Seattle, okay, Seattle did not have a lot of no-name, big-name defensive players. But they had the best B+, if you want to say tier 2 guys combined. They won the Super Bowl. But what did Seattle do, though? They spent money. That whole defense was revamped. Just like what we did. That's like we're doing. They spent money to go get those B+ guys.
$250 million.
That's how much they spent, y'all.
Worth of contract.
Thank you, B-Bird. $250 million combined, offensively and defensively. And they won the world championship. They Super Bowl champions. New England, same thing. Spent money. They went to the Super Bowl. And New England really didn't have, they do have some Pro Bowl guys, though. Just a couple. But they did the same thing. They spent money.
$350 million worth of contracts.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking, that's five. We're talking about $600 million between the two teams. So between the two teams, they spent money. It's not one gigantic piece, but they spent money. Cowboys don't want to get the big name and they don't want to spend money. Okay, this is why we're talking about the Pickens thing now. You know, a team like Philadelphia say, "Shoot, man, we got AJ and Devontae." You see what I'm saying? The Rams will say, "We got Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua." You see what I'm saying? Y'all see the point? We got not only do we have Puka Nacua, not only do we have Devontae Adams, but we also got Matthew Stafford, who ain't cheap. You see what I'm saying? And we got defensive players. You see what I'm saying? Philadelphia, we got Devontae. You know, AJ finna leave now, but I'm saying previous the last couple years, and we paid Jalen Hurts, and we paid our defensive players.
Saquon Barkley.
And we paid Saquon Barkley.
They drafted Mekhi Lemon.
You see what I'm saying? I'm saying there's a way to do it, but the Cowboys, the way I'm saying, they don't want to do neither one. They think, they say, well, you know, when you're paying a quarterback, he's the highest paid player in history, at $60 million. Man, but Philadelphia just paid 2 receivers and the quarterback, and Zach Bond, and Saquon Barkley, and Jordan Carter. Come on. And I know Quinn and the James still in their rookie deal, but I'm saying, come on now. You can't tell me you can't do it. You just adopted a way that you don't want to do it.
Correct.
So they're to me, their fault. Now they did what, pretty decently this year, compared to the other years. But this mentality that you can't do this and you can't do that. You let Parsons go, and we ain't got to argue about that. The bottom line is he gone. But you have to figure out a way to do this general manager thing right. I don't give them one credit because they still scaring me by the way they're doing it. Because it don't take this long to go get a middle linebacker. It just don't. It don't. This thing could have been solved a long time ago. And if you're trying to go the cheap way, the Bobby Wagners and all that type of stuff, come on now. I mean, I ain't saying Bobby can't play. I'm just saying you want to get off the cheap way instead of going to get what you need to go after the Super Bowl. As I say it again, I'm sorry. I'm swing it to you. If you're telling me you're trying to win the Super Bowl this year, then let me see the Super Bowl moves. But if you're telling me that you're building toward the Super Bowl, and that's a big difference. That's telling me you got about a couple years to get it done. Just let me know what you're doing, and then I'll make my adjustments. But they the one that told me, hey, we gonna bust the budget. We all in the previous year. And then I also heard you tell me we got about a 2-3 year window to get it done. Well, you need to be making the moves to get it done now and use that as foundation and build off the foundation of what you got, which is what's on paper. I give them credit. They have on defense. I would give them credit for that. The offense is legit. We just got to see what happens. So that's all I got to say about that. I think they're lacking in the general manager, at least their strategy and methods.
Yeah, so it's a mythical figure. It's called the football gods, and so what they've done, the kind of things they do, the football gods just don't like it. When you just say we're not going to participate in free agency, we're just not, and we're good with it, and we brag about it. Football gods don't like that. When you look at the way they handled the Amari Cooper, the Dez Bryant situation, football guys didn't like that. And then this last offseason, the way that thing was handled with Micah and with the agent, man, the football guys just don't like that kind of stuff. And they just do stuff like that. And they just, spit in the eye of the mythical football gods. And they just have their own way of doing it. I think Shotty, Parker, they're going to come in and try to, change the way that this team is operating. It ain't gonna be easy, but that's what's gonna have to happen. And Jerry has one more chance. I'm gonna say one more chance, but he's got another opportunity this offseason to really, I talked to you guys before about him being a good steward, and we know what he does off the field. He does a lot of stuff in the community. He does stuff with people that we don't even know about.
Yeah.
But this football thing, this thing that we call the football part of the business, they have just done some stuff. You just say to yourself, like, what are they doing? It's like they just don't do the best practices, B-Bird, that other teams do. And it hasn't worked. It's little bitty things too. With some of the things that they do, they have a chance to kind of right the ship in a lot of those things that we just been talking about.
Yeah.
So we just going, and now it's just kind of up to them. It ain't gonna take a whole lot. I'm gonna say this. I think we're pretty close. If they push all the right buttons, I think we have a shot at really doing something this year. But if you don't push the right buttons, it's not going to take a lot for the Giants and the Commanders and the 49ers. My son, he thinks Detroit is done. It won't take a lot for them to catch up and pass Dallas again. It just won't. So, but that's going to be up to Jerry and Steven and the way they handle this Pickens contract. We saw Overshawn, he signed with Mulugeta. And I'm going to say this about Overshawn, and we didn't talk about this. Overshawn has played on TV in front of millions of viewers, and he's played good football when he was healthy. I'm absolutely convinced that he can get a good contract somewhere else if he doesn't get it here. And they got this thing, they're talking about Pickens. I was talking to Star, chatting with Star yesterday. There's this idea that teams don't want George Pickens or they won't pay him. I don't know where they're getting that from. The reason that teams are not offering to pay George Pickens is because they're going to have to compensate the Cowboys with draft picks. If George Pickens was a free agent, what do you think he would be signing for? It wouldn't be pennies on the dollar. He would get paid. So I don't understand that whole line of thinking too. Why are people saying that other teams wouldn't pay Pickens? Where are they getting that from?
Well, I can tell you what they're getting is because they haven't had an offer for 2 first rounds or another offer for a first round or anything like that. But that's not to be. And I'm gonna trust Boss on this. He said that over the last, I think, 20 or 30 years, he did the research. Only one player with the tag that was applied to Pickens has gotten traded, and that was Joey Galloway. He got traded to us. He said, I think it was. He said at least 135 to 140 players had the same tag that Pickens has, and no one's offered anything for him. Because what it is, so you mean to tell me I got to pay this guy $38 million and give up a first round draft pick? That's too high. What I would tell anybody is this: the best wide receiver, Chase or Jefferson, you still wouldn't give up two first round picks and $40 million for them. Yeah. So it's not the person. It's that this tag is ridiculous, to be totally honest with you. Nobody's going to give that up.
Yeah, that's the tender. They may pay him, but they're not going to give them two.
Yeah. If he's a free agent, now somebody will pay him to be a number one. Especially if you're a team that's on a rise. Say, man, we need a number one wide receiver. The guy's 24 years old in his prime. So it's not like what I think they're trying to paint is what Cowboy Joe is saying. They're trying to paint the picture like nobody wants this guy. Only one person wants him is the Cowboys, and that's not accurate. I just think that I don't like the painting of that. And I'm pro player and pro Pickens, and so I'm not even. I could actually look at the situation the Cowboys are in and say it is a tough situation, right? Like he outplayed his salary. That's what it is. But I can see both sides. Anybody that's saying nobody wants Pickens is crazy. And then they start going into, well, some of the rumors, and I don't want to hear all that. Like that's some of that stuff ain't really football. And I'll tell you about this too, big time and Joe. You gonna have those kind of guys on any championship team. Go to Seattle. You got some dudes that's routed at us doing some stuff, but it stays behind closed doors. It don't get leaked out to the media, right? The coaches be like, okay, I know this guy. Let me tell you something, y'all. This is for everybody out there. If you really, really good, people gonna put up with your mess. They gonna put up with your mess, and people will be like, "Well, this guy caught 150, 120 balls for 2,000 yards, but boy, he comes to meet and play. We gonna let him go." Nobody ever said that. They figure it out. Why? Because this guy is attached to me keeping my job. He's helping me keep a paycheck every doggone year, and I ain't going nowhere without that guy. So I gotta have him. So the better you are, man, people ain't. I think when people bring that out to the public, the regular Joe walk the streets and say, yeah, I got to be at my job on time. You are replaceable.
Immediately.
You are replaceable. If you work at Walmart, you assistant manager, third up or whatever, you are replaceable. I'm replaceable at my job. And so, but these athletes, some of the things they do aren't replaceable, man. And so they different than you. And so people gonna put up with most stuff with those guys. Now I'm telling you what happens when they start getting older. They ain't gonna put up with the stuff no more. They start losing stuff. They ain't gonna put up with the stuff no more. But when you're in your prime, people put up a little bit of with a little bit of mess, man. But I wanted to just say one thing too. I want to just pivot just for a moment and say that the reason why I do have some hope in next year is because I think we have an offense that's ready to compete. And when I look back at last year, I differ from some people. I do give Eberflus blame, but I also say that if you go look at his personnel, the guy had nothing to work with. Now, I didn't like that. I don't eat grit stuff. That means that you're kind of going at your players. I don't really like that. But I don't know if the people that wasn't here last time we talked, I pulled out the list of our starting lineup from opening day last year. And right now, the only two people that's going to start would be Clark and Bland. So we're going to have 9 new starters, I think, next year when we start the first game of the year. So it may take a little bit, y'all, but we're going to be more talented out there. We're not putting the same guys out there. But I think that we're going to be a better defense. And also, too, y'all, we're getting the technology, right? The coaches on the sideline that are innovators. And so what they did is something I love to do. If you got a situation, don't just say, was it the coach? Was it the players? Hey, how about both? Let's change out both. And they did that. They changed out all these players. The players they're keeping were good. Clark was good. Bland, if he, come back from an injury, it's good. And these guys that they got in their place, we got some areas of concern. Like I would like a pressure player off the edge that I know can get pressure. I think both of you guys would love a linebacker. You know what I'm saying? But I just like the way that they went about it. They're attacking both the coaching staff, which I thought was a big deal, and they're attacking the talent on the field. You got to give a coach the talent. Again, I'm gonna say this when I leave before I give it up, is that great players make great coaches, y'all. I just That's just what it is. You give a great coach, great players, a good coach, great players. He's gonna be a great coach, man. And I think we're going in that direction right now.
I agree with that 100,000,000%. And it seems that Christian Park is a pretty good coach. I think Schottenheimer can coach. Obviously, you have the number one offense in the league, primarily all year, predominantly all year. I'm sorry. Then you can't help but give Schottenheimer credit. So I don't have no questions for him. I'm interested to see how well Schottenheimer does since now that the NFL has had a whole offseason to study his offense. And I'm quite sure, they got a better grip on what he does. So we'll be kind of seeing how things start off with that. Christian Parker is playing with house money because, to be honest with you, on that first game, look, forget the preseason. Preseason gonna be so vanilla, it's just gonna be crazy. I mean, vanilla. But whoever we play first, there's no way they got tape. They don't have any tape, nothing. So they don't know how we gonna line up. I mean, it's gonna be just like crazy. I'm talking about like stupid crazy. And it's gonna take some time for teams to get used to at least the first month, trying to figure out how we gonna play guys because they ain't never seen a Christian Parker defense. Are you talking about some exotic looks and all this type of? I mean, I feel sorry for whoever we play first. I'm talking about. I believe we're gonna rip somebody apart the first game. I don't care who it is. I'm telling you now, because you don't know what the defense is gonna look like, and it's just gonna come from so many different types. You remember one of the things that Christian Parker have said repeatedly when he first got hired, at least, is that disguises is a big part of his defense. When last time we disguised anything?
I don't know, but I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm disguising Hendricks Dak.
Yes, I'm saying like this, and it's gonna help Dak even in practice.
Yeah,
I'm saying practices are gonna be good because this is what they're gonna do to each other. I believe. I'm gonna be honest with you. That I just I ain't mean to switch it this way, but I just believe that the secondary. I want to be at training camp. I want to go see it myself. I believe the secondary gonna beat the crap out of our receiver. I'm just telling you because I think they're gonna beat them up. I'm not talking about like I don't think gonna be successful. I don't think Dak gonna have a good training camp going against this secondary. I'm serious. I don't care if Pickens, Lamb. I don't see it. I see some trouble on the way, and I personally love it. So when Sunday, Thursday night, whatever, Monday night get here, it's gonna be kind of a little bit easier because the defense is gonna put some pressure on them. Let me say this, which leads to B-Bird, you said something powerful. Because everybody's kind of seesawish about the pass rusher we got, Lawrence, the kid that was Malachi Lawrence. Listen, he's gonna get a crash course real quick too in practice. We'll know if he can play or not because see the lineman gonna go hard in practice. So when he come off the edge, can I introduce you to Tyler Guyton? Can I go on whoop him? We're going to find out if Guyton right. Go on whoop him. So we'll know that Tyler Guyton having struggle. Can I introduce you to Steele? We're going to find out what Malachi Lawrence is all about. We're going to find out about what Overton is about. Big kid from Alabama, whatever. Guess what? Can I introduce you to Tyler Smith? Because that's who you're going to go against in practice. Now we'll find out what you made of. A lot iron sharpen iron. That's what I'm trying to say. Pickens going against Revel. We're going to baptize Revel.
Oh, that's right.
So, look, by the time week 1 get here, the Revel will be okay. Long as his knee is fine, Revel, because he's going to get baptized by Lamb, by Pickens, every single day. Those two are the best receivers in the game. You're going to find out real quick. That go for Bland, too. We're gonna find out if Bland foot okay. Because you're going against Pickens. You're going against Lamb every day. We'll find out real quick how good these guys are, because you ain't going against Rudy Poops. You're going against all pros. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I just want to throw that in. Go ahead, Joe.
So Christian Parker had a quote yesterday I thought it was kind of fascinating, and they were asking him, is your defense going to be like, Vic Fangio, Vance Joseph, whatever the case may be? Mm-hmm. So he said, what he said was, this is our defense. He said, our defense is our defense. It's what we're doing. So it just sounds like, he's a Vic Fangio, Vance Joseph disciple. He coached under them, but it sounds like he wants to have his own brand of defense. Mm-hmm. Probably taking a little bit of
all of it combined.
Yeah, and that's what you do. And I've mentioned this on our show, and I'm going to say it over and over and over. The company that I work for, the reason we were one of the best companies that ever existed, that's what we did. We went and talked to everybody. If you was doing something right, we would go to your company. We would sit down and talk to you. The mom and pop operation, just think Chick-fil-A. The way their operation runs, we would have talked to them if they had been around at the time. But that's what we did. So we just went and talked to people that were, having great success with numbers, with production, with, whatever you did that was well, we were interested. And then we got so good where, I would have so much work, but I would spend time myself. People was coming in talking to us because we were just knocking it out of the park. But that's what all of these good coaches do. Look, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, they all came from a system that worked year after year after year, and they implemented it. That's one of the things that Jerry hasn't done the last 30 years. He didn't go get something that was working somewhere else and put it in place. Jason Garrett was not that. He wasn't. Ron Marinelli wasn't that.
Waste our time.
Yeah. Wade Phillips was one of the good coordinators back in the day. He never was a good coach.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to do. If you're going to be successful, you got to look at what people are doing, innovative, and you got to implement it. And then the other thing you got to do is you can just never rest on that what you have is good. You got to always look to get the next thing, whatever that thing is. And that's what we were doing at the company I work for. You had no time to rest on your laurels. That's what this franchise has done for the last 30 years. They're just basically like, this is what we do. We're not doing free agency, and we're telling you in your face we're not. We're just not doing it. We don't care what you say. These other teams are doing things with the cap. We're not doing that. But by the way, we're wasting money on the cap. We're putting money into players like Jalen Smith and Michael Gallup and all these players. But we're telling you this is what we want to do with the cap. No, you have the same cap that every team has, B-Bird. You're just not doing what they do, and you're getting the same results. So that's kind of what they're looking at. They gotta make a sea change. I think they done started in that direction.
Yeah. So with Christian Parker, I kind of liken it to this, and I want y'all both to kind of think about what I'm going to say. So say y'all were at a restaurant that had this chicken dish that was really good, and you worked there for 10 years, and you've made this chicken dish for 10 years, and it's renowned, right? But in the back of your mind, you're going to be like, man, if I ever open my restaurant, I'll have a chicken dish, but I'll add paprika because I've done it before. Or I'll add, something else to it, or I would do this to it. And so, but you're not allowed to do that because you're not the head chef and it's not your restaurant, right?
Right.
So then you open up your own restaurant. Well, guess what you're going to do? You're not going to do the same exact thing that you learned because you've already said in your mind what you would do what you would do off this base that you've learned from this restaurant. Like I would do all these. When you become your own head coach or own defensive coordinator, now it's your show. All the things that you wanted to do, you can do. And so that's why the defense is not going to look. It's going to be based like the ones that he came from, the people that he know, but it's going to have a twist to it. And that's what I'm saying. Like whatever that restaurant that you open up, the food will taste similar to the one that you grew up in, but it's gonna have your own twist to it because everybody wants their own twist to something. They don't want to just run the same thing that somebody else ran. And I know Christian Parker had time to say, "Man, I'd have played this, or I'd have played this coverage with this front. I would have did this." So now he's done that in his mind, and now he gets to actually put that out on the field what he's learned. So I think it's going to be different. Just like he said, he acted like he was actually offended by people saying that, and he's trying to divorce himself basically from those defenses, and just say no, it's going to be our defense. That's because he's creating something different based off of what he knows.
Wow. That was deep what you just said right there. That was deep. Come on, you can't leave me there, B-Bird. Come on. You can't leave me with that one. You said it's deep right there.
Yeah.
But what he knows. You go deeper on that real quick.
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
That's another whole show what you just said right there. You just said he's going deeper off what he knows.
Yeah. So I'm saying like when you get all these back, you've been on all these coaches and you get all their best practices and you keep bringing them with you, right? You bring them on you go to another job, you still bring those best practices. And then you see all these great defensive coordinators that you've learned under and you say, hey, these guys, man, I've learned a lot. So I got a bag, but there's some things that I want to do that I've done away from here that I've put up on the chalkboard that I've envisioned it being better. And so now I'm gonna add on to that. So you don't want to do the same exact thing that the person before you did because because I want my stuff to be out here. I have these ideas. I want this defense to be built in my image of what I want it to be. And I think that's what he's going to do. He's just not going to copy the blueprint from somebody else and just kind of keep it going. He wants to deviate a little bit off of that because that's what people with ingenuity do, man. They want their own. It's art. They want their own art out there. They don't want to be copying nobody else's painting and putting it out there and putting a signature on it like it's theirs. They want their own art. So I think that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, and I'm watching him on.
Go ahead.
Every time, and so I'm looking at him on TV. I'm just looking at kind of review of the way the past week has kind of went down, and look, we bash Jerry a lot. We do. He deserves it. Like I said, he hasn't. The football guys, they don't like what he's doing. They don't like what he's doing this week with this number stuff, which is silly. Stop giving people 33 too, by the way. But what Jerry has done, just kind of taking a step back, if you will, letting
that's where I was going with. Come on.
Letting this young black guy have a stage, this young black man, young man, had a stage. Him and his youthful coaches. The same with Shotty. What Jerry needs to do, the more Shotty, the better. So give him credit. He's kind of taking a step back, letting these guys kind of have a limelight. And for him to do this with a young black coach, there's some risk involved there. So give him credit. And now what he needs to do, he needs to just let him go in and do his job, B-Bird. Just let him put his plans in place, put his defense in place, get his players. And when Jerry has done that, he's had success. The proof is there. He can just go back and look what he did with Jimmy and Norv Turner, Dave Wanstead, and those guys. And that's what the 49ers have done, the Ravens, the Eagles. So give Jerry a little credit for this is historic what he's doing. So let's give him a little credit for that.
We on the same thing, Cowboy Joe. And I was going to answer B Birds by saying that whatever you got in place that may be positive right now, this is the time where Jerry and Steven can mess it up. Okay, so what I say by that is this, and I'll give you one example, and then I'll be through. So I consider this the safe zone because we done got past free agency, we done got past the draft. That's usually Steven and Jerry's show. Now you put them into the hands of the coaches. And depending on who the coaches are, you say, well, we're in trouble. I feel like it's the safety zone because I trust Christian Parker, even though I haven't seen his work yet. I believe in what I'm seeing right now. I know what Shotty brings. I believe in Shotty. And then I believe in the assistant coaches that they had. On the offensive side, I have no questions. None. From the offensive line coach, tight ends coach, I don't have no problem with offense at all. Shotty as a play caller, Shotty as the head coach, I don't have no problem with it at all. We don't talk about special teams here. We didn't have a good special teams year as far as kickoff return, a punt return, even though we got the all-pro back there, but he really wasn't a gigantic effective guy like I thought he was going to be from that standpoint, even though he still was all-pro dude. But anyway, we don't talk about that. But I'm cool. I'm still cool with that part of the that spectrum. I have hope in Christian Parker. Haven't seen nothing yet, but I have hope in Christian Parker. Now, here's where Jerry and Steven can mess this up. Coming up. Loyalty. Politics. I'll give you the prime example. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nowhere in the world you can tell me that Michael Trigg should not be an effective person this year.
Yeah.
No way. He was not drafted. Please don't tell me he's going to be the third or fourth tight end this year. Don't tell me that. When I'm already knowing he's better than Schoonmaker, that's the politic right there. Are you going to be loyal and say, don't cut Schoonmaker? And if you keep Schoonmaker, who you taking away? I even say Brevin Spanford, who's better than Schoonmaker. And I know Trigg is going to come down here and clown. So my point is, if Trigg is the second best tight end in the room, I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he's better than Spanford. But I am saying right off the top, Trigg better than Schoonmaker. Trigg is better, Spanford is better than Schoonmaker. There's nowhere in the world that Schoonmaker should be on this team this year. That's all I'm saying. Unless he just had a metamorphosis type change. I'm serious. Listen, the politics is what's going to mess everything. You're holding spots and you're pushing down people who deserve to be on the team. Let me tell you this. We saw it last year. We saw the preseason game. Trayshawn Holden was clowning last year. I didn't know. I didn't understand why he wasn't on the squad last year. But you were holding the spot for Jonathan Mingo. Just because you traded for him and you keep saying, we got Mingo. We got Mingo. And Mingo has done absolutely nothing. See what I'm saying? It's that stuff that's going to mess up the team because you're going to let go of a player, a hungry player that deserves to be there. Ryan Flournoy was better than Mingo. I mean, that and actually we saw that because Schottenheimer actually put the guy in. I don't care nothing about Mingo being hurt. When he was well, he still ain't done nothing. Matter of fact, he ain't done absolutely nothing in a Cowboy uniform. Will the politics get in the way this year? I hope not, because there's some guy that's on this. There's people like Trigg. Listen, I saw the tape. That's real. Michael Trigg tape real. It's better than Schoonmaker. It is. I'm not saying he's better than Spanford. Listen, I don't care. Spanford should be the second tight end this year, or Trigg. Pick your choice, and the other would be the third tight end. Schoonmaker don't need to be on this team. I'm sorry. But when you got the politics involved and loyalty because we drafted him in the second round, you'll keep that spot there. And that's the part that I fear the most coming up. Nobody look. Shotty don't like Jadon Blue. Jadon Blue was in jogging suits all last year. Mostly. Please don't tell me he's going to be the number 2 running back. Please don't. I know Shotty don't like it. And I'm not saying it need to be Phil Maffa. I'm not saying it need to be the dude that didn't listen. I'm just saying, don't let the politics get in the way. And that's been one of the Achilles heels of the Dallas Cowboys. So that's the part I want to live with. I'm done for today. Listen, are y'all done?
Well, I want to say one thing about that. Now, I have a theory on why they do that with draft picks. It's because at the Jerry's motivation basically is to prove that he's a football guy, because the league laughed at him when he got the team, and the league laughed at him when he fired Jimmy, and so Jerry's one of those guys, like any narcissist. They want to prove people wrong, man, by any means.
Yeah, that's the
and so
problem.
what they can prove it at is the draft picks, right? Like that's why they don't like go and get free agents that have been successful or coaches that have been successful anywhere else, because they'll get the credit, and and Jerry and Steven won't get it. If you go get a Bill Belichick, then Belichick's going to get the credit. If you go get a Ben Johnson, then Ben Johnson's going to get the credit. Mm-hmm. So back to the players, they love to draft guys and they want to win. Theoretically, they would love to win with an all drafted team or UDFAs or UFL. That's what they really want to do, man. They don't want any kind of outside people coming from another organization to come in and win. So in saying that, they are more inclined to give longer rope to their draft picks, but everybody give rope to their draft picks. Everybody wants their draft picks to be successful. But the Cowboys give a lot longer rope to their draft picks. I mean, LVE, they signed him after his 5 years. They kept signing him to 1-year contracts. Why? Because it's like putting that money in a slot machine and you saying, hey, the next one going to be it. And then now you still don't win. Instead of other GMs don't have the time to be able to do that because they got to win now. I don't have the time to see this guy through. And he showed me in 2 years he can't cover anybody at a cornerback. I got to get a cornerback in here. And that's what they'll do. So I think what it is the whole thing about free agency got something to do with money, right? They're like high-paid free agents. But they want to build a team organically, and they want to build it themselves, and they want to build it with players that they picked. And if you cut a guy in 2-3 years, that's not with the program of trying to get credit for building this franchise back to a Super Bowl contender.
Wow.
And we can wind down. Go ahead and wrap big time. I want to say this right here. I think Schoonmaker should be in jeopardy. He would if another coach or another front office was here. Also, I've been looking at this Drew Shelton that we drafted, this tackle, and there are some coaches that are saying that
they pumping him up real good.
So he was a guy that Connor Riley recruited back in college, and when you look at him, he looks the part. He looks like a tackle. I hope Tyler Guyton ends up being an All-Pro, but every time I see Tyler Guyton, he looks like a defensive end, a edge, or he looks like a tight end to me. Drew Shelton just looks the part. Young guy, obviously, but keep an eye on that name. I think Tyler Guyton, Schoon, and it was Hooker. I think all of those guys, their positions are in jeopardy. The only thing that's going to save them, B-Bird, is the politics. But if they just get out there and they're able to, these other guys compete for the job, Guyton, Schoon, Hooker, they on notice. They should be, and it's gonna make them all better too. If Tyler Guyton makes it through this and ends up being the guy, then hey, power to him. We ain't pulling against him, but yeah, I just like the way the competition is setting up. So big time. We want to promote our channels. We getting a lot of people watching our show. I've been just reading the comments. They just been amazing in the chat. So chat, if you will, go over to my son's and my channel. It's Cowboy. I'm losing my train of thought. It's
Fast.
Father and Son Cowboys and Sports Talk. You can say Fastcast. You can find us there on YouTube. And then I'm on Twitter at Cowboy Joe 64. So go over and like and subscribe to our channel. and then do the same with B Bird, and we'll let him promote his channel here. B Bird's great channel as well.
I have the I have it highlighted, but I don't think you can click on that. But if you go up in
Okay.
the chat, uh, you can go ahead and click that immediately and just push the subscribe button on Fastcast channel. There, it's that highlight there. If you scroll up, go ahead and subscribe to my brother right there. Go ahead, B Word.
Yeah. So, one little item here, man, about Schoolmaker. He was drafted in 2023, and he's going to be 28 years old in September. So, right after kickoff, he'll be 28. He's probably
Wow.
one of the oldest guys on our team, and we still ain't got nothing out of him. But
He need to be off the team.
yeah, and so he ought to be retiring at that age. So hey, I'm B Bird Cowboy, man. Y'all can catch me on YouTube, on Twitter. I've been a little bit more active on YouTube. I did a couple of shows last week, a couple of ones before that. Hopefully, I'll do a couple of them this week. And Bryce Bird, my son, will be dropping in on us sometimes. He's a diehard Cowboy fan, also. So yeah, hey, y'all go on and just go over and, like I said, on me and Cowboy Joe's channel. Just go and subscribe to us, man. Give us a like whenever you get a chance. Big time show. I'm gonna give him a shout out. I know we on it, but hey, man, it's amazing content creator. A guy that I took a liking to the first time I seen him, and not just this show, but he has the ride. He also gets on with the Avengers. What do y'all call that show?
DC Universe.
DC Universe, yeah. And so he has a lot of different shows out there, man. Y'all support him on all his shows, man. Like if he's on that show, he go listen. It's got a lot of great content creators on there. Continue to look for us, man. OG Podcast. We love doing the show. We love the camaraderie we have with each other, man. And hey, we all on here just to get six. No matter what we're saying, no matter what the chat says, everybody's here to get six, man. So I just want to just tell y'all to follow us, just if y'all get a chance, and hopefully y'all stay around.
So, man, I want to throw out there real quick. So we did the draft with B Bird and his son Bryce, and it was like a really amazing show. Now,
Yeah, it was.
people can go back and watch that. Just it was just really cool the way Bryce had the inside coverage. He was calling the picks before we got him. So it was a really good show that we did with our draft contest. So we're gonna do something else with B Bird and his son later. Just kind of do this father and son thing. And so that's what I like about all of us. We support our kids, and that's a real big deal when fathers and mothers too are involved with supporting the kids. So that's kind of what we're doing here. And obviously, big time, we know your story, and with your son with the AAU, that's dedication. AAU, that's serious. It takes a serious dad, a man that's really doing the right thing, and that's what kind of drew me on to big time. I just discovered his show, and then I also discovered that he was a new members of Kappa Alpha Psi. So we have a lot of things in common. The same with B Bird. He's in Texas. I'm in Texas. So I think the stars are aligned with what we do. And I like what we're doing with this OG podcast. It's a lot of people watching it, and it's really good content. So check us all out, and glad again to be on with you guys.
Awesome. I have B Bird's channel right there on the screen for you. You can't click that, but if you scroll up in the chat, this same thing would be there. If you're looking for the right one, you see in the middle there, you see B Bird at B Bird Cowboys. Just find that link there. It's right there in the chat. Just scroll up and you click on it. You'll be able to subscribe right then and there on his channel. I don't have nothing too much to add. Always a privilege to hang with the brothers. We were just talking. This thing is just took off. It's being viewed by a whole bunch of people. Right now, I'm looking at it right now. Appreciate your Uncle Charles.
Uncle Charles came.
Subscribed already. Good. Like right now, I got total 66 people that's live with us right now. I need all of you 66 to hit that like button too, though. That's what I need. I need you to hit it. I haven't even said hello to TikTok. Oh, I'm just lying. Oh, I know these folks mad at me. I know that.
Where's Kels tonight?
Kels jumped on here early.
She was?
Kels don't say nothing until she can correct you. She don't if you must be all right because she ain't corrected you, or she may be gone. So
she gave us some inside scoops last night on our show.
She did.
Yeah,
she's right on point.
She knows.
She said she was celebrating her anniversary for being a Zeta. Yeah, so I told her I was with some Zetas last week. So I feel you, Kels.
Yeah. Congratulations on that. So it was awesome, man. Listen, just subscribe. B-Bird just put his back in right there at the latest chat there. You can see it. Click that again. Click it. For those of you that are watching this later on, whatever day you're watching, you see the comment there. Go ahead and click that for B-Bird's channel. It'll lead you straight there, and you can immediately just subscribe. Matter of fact, why don't you just go do that right now, because he's live right there on that channel. You're only going to miss maybe about 2 seconds. If you click that, you come right into the show.
Yes,
you can subscribe right then and there. Same thing with Fast Cast earlier up there with the link with Cowboy Joe and his son. Listen, big time show, real simple. It's there for you. If you don't know mine, just scroll up again to the chat. Let me find mine and just highlight it real quick. There it is. Click and subscribe to that. It's up in the chat. Just click there, and you can click and subscribe to that. Let's help grow our YouTube channels up. YouTube pays money, but you got to have 1,000 subscribers, and I want to get my guys there as quick as possible. Hopefully, some type of way we can get that done before the season starts, so they can start getting a little pennies. You understand?
Yeah.
Pennies for their hard labor.
And,
work. That's the goal. It's
labor
a high
labor,
but ain't nothing wrong with a little profit. You understand?
No, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
He never heard nothing.
No, we trying to get everybody. We trying to get everybody there. So we'll be with you guys. Of course, Friday nights is our usual night. But as usual, something happened. We couldn't all three get on, but here we are. We made it tonight. And we'll battle. And y'all guys, if you don't mind, I'm gonna probably get them out, but stay here real quick. I want to tell y'all something real quick. Just
okay.
Real quick. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all for hanging with us. We finna have a little podcast meeting real quick, about 2 minutes or so, and then we're gonna go ahead and leave. But you guys have a great rest of your evening. Hope that you are going to church somewhere tomorrow, whether that's live or whether that's virtual.
First Sunday.
Go to church, because listen, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but that's another whole show, which I will get on with my pastor. I got the Up My People podcast going on with my pastor, where we talk about what's going on. But
man, I haven't saw that.
What, man?
Oh, we'll talk about it when we get up.
If we ever need the Lord before, we need him now.
Yes,
man. It's crazy, getting crazy out here, y'all. So go to church, get your spirit right. Get your spirit right. Do something, amen. All right. Y'all take it easy. We out of here, man. Appreciate y'all hanging with us. We'll see you again next week for the one and the only. This has been the OG podcast. We'll see you later.